But this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't even being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian? Like, and the reason I say that is because when I used to hear black and brown people, and I always thought we was like jointed to the hip. Like, I always thought we was the black folk, you know, Latino, brown, you know. So I always thought we kind of shared some of the same struggles, same hardships, same, just, you know, we were similar. You know, I remember growing up, all my Latino buddies, they was on what I was on. But now that I look at it, it ain't as clear to me no more. And I'm trying to ask y'all, do y'all feel, Latino brothers and sisters, do y'all feel y'all are more in line with black folk? Or do y'all feel like y'all are now more aligned with Caucasians? You know, and I don't know if y'all feel like y'all more aligned with Caucasians, or if y'all inspired to be more like them than y'all do black folk. I don't know. I'm fine with it either way. I'm just trying to get clarity on it, because it's not as clear to me now than it used to be. Like, I used to think we was in the same fight. But now when I see things, you know, I remember the last election talking to Latino folk, and they, oh, no, he gonna give us money, he gonna, you know. And I used to be like, God damn, like, that's the motherfucker want to get y'all out of here. And the only reason I'm asking, because I need to know who I'm defending. Like, I don't want to be defending no motherfucker who don't even fuck with me, for real. So I'm asking so I know who I should and shouldn't be defending. So if y'all can just help me understand y'all thought process and who y'all feel y'all align more with, because I've seen, you know, political candidates, you know, black person, white person, and y'all motherfuckers, y'all be over there. So I'm just trying to get clarity on that. If y'all can help educate me on this, I surely appreciate it. And it's love either way.
As we all know, that Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, she lost her primary in Texas. And ever since then, everybody are just asking questions like, what went wrong? You know what I mean? Did she lose because the Latinos did not vote for her? Or did she lose because she based a campaign on African Americans, on slavery? You know, a lot of people are just asking questions. And for sure, we know that the internet are listening and the interweb got a lot of response. Let's go listen to how people are reacting.
What do you mean? Jasmine not going to Congress for Texas? Oh, Crockett. A girl can only dream. Listen, Jasmine, what was that one quote that you said? Let me think. Oh, yeah. We done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to go find a plantation. Yeah, you remember that. I remember that. How could I forget? See, 6.5 million Hispanic voters in Texas, which is like the majority of the electoral vote here in the state. And you mean to tell me that you think that we're still picking cotton? Hell no, girl. Hell no. That's why you lost. You're fucking racist. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. If you would have pitched that in 2002, 2001, you probably could have gotten like a good drift. However, that was people in the past. Those kids that I grew up with that were chasing a field every summer, every spring with their parents, moving school to school because they had to go pick fruit with their parents, are now grown up. And guess what? Do you think that they're going to go back to picking fields when they have a citizenship? No. As a matter of fact, they're not even looking to vote for blue people with blue policies that put their parents in fields. Fuck no. Some of them are real estate investors, business owners, they're passing down generational wealth, and you think that they're picking cotton. You out of your goddamn mind. I'm gonna remind you real quick, the majority of the Latino voters for Trump here in Texas live in the southern border. You know what happened in the southern border? No. Why? Because neither you nor Kamala have the balls to go down there. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Along the Texas border, Poverty levels are sky high as it is. When you import a bunch of riffraff from third world countries and they end up in those southern border towns, they strain the resources for those people. Those people can't even survive. And then you're bringing in all this fucking riffraff with a CBP1 app, Ticketmaster to the United States, and you leave them there. That's why our governor had to ship all those fucking people out. And then y'all complain, oh, you were shipping on. Yeah, because you guys brought them here. You blue people brought them here to Texas, and the southern towns were suffering. Not only that, but there was violence across the border in Tamaulipas, in Reynosa, all those cartels fighting to bring all those people over here. Why? Because they were profiting billions of dollars. And your ass still thinks that we're picking cotton? Take that. No Congress for Jasmine. As a matter of fact, why don't you go run for Missouri? What did you do in Missouri that they don't want you to run for them? Oh, I know.
Hey, man, this is a very skewed and terrible point you're making. Very delusional. A lot of Latinos voted for Donald Trump, by the way. A lot of Latinos voted for Donald Trump. A lot of Latinos tend to vote blue. So how can you say they're not ready for strong black leadership when in many of their lives there have been culturally a lot of strong black influence? But the reason why I posted this video in the beginning, so you can hear it out of the mouth of someone that lives in Texas on those border towns. I've been there. I've seen the Trump flags waving. And listen to what she said. Listen to what she's saying. Black folk got to stop taking on this liberal ideology that they know best or better than another demographic. That's actually a white middle class, white feminist point of view that, oh, I know what's better for someone else over that community. It's the same thing with Iran. Oh, we shouldn't be doing that when Iranians want to be free from tyranny. Same thing with a lot of these Hispanic voters. The blue thought that these people that would bring them in without knowing anything about them culturally or how culturally diverse they are, that they would just bring them in and they would vote blue. And that's not what happened. And it's this assumption that they don't, can't think for themselves. And they've gone. All right, we're going to spend a little time here because I feel like we really fucking have to. This, cause we black shit, that shit gotta stop. And I want y'all to see that the world does not care. I've been saying for quite some time that geopolitically, we have to change with the times. People don't really give a fuck about our slavery and racism and Jim Crow. You see, they trying to distort that anyway. And we've allowed them to distort that because we have allowed it to be exploited by the liberal party, I'm just being honest, and incorporated into all this other shit, making identity politics useless for black folk. I'm just being honest. There was a time we really did need the laws and legislation to go our way. We're not going to deny that. And we need to not let others deny that. They don't have to like it. We need to know that. Jim Crow is a real thing. That happened. Slavery, all that shit was a real thing. These things have been legislated through time because it was fucked up and it happened to us. But it was a time for that. This shit ain't about black and white no more. This shit about money and donors. That's what it's about. And it's about what are you actually going to do? People, the common man cares about what are you going to do? I'm a truck driver. I drive all around the country. It's some poor whites out there. There's homogenous communities of white folks that's poor. They need some fucking money. They working in Walmart and shit like that just the way you are in your inner city. So you can't out-struggle somebody. That shit's not working. You can't say you got it worse than somebody else when a lot of these communities, they're poor as fuck. You got poor Hispanics. I'm telling you, whole communities where it's other people that aren't black. Black people, the struggle license is not exclusive to you. And it's not just because you're black. Have black people been mistreated? Yes, we know that. We fought for that. We have. But we have stopped ascending because we have essentially let another group of people take that struggle and license it out to get votes. In this day and age, everyone is struggling. Everybody needs some type of elevation politically, and they're just looking for it, the common person. So as a black American, this is why delineation is important. If you come out saying you're American, willing to help all Americans and do something that's not only going to benefit the common person that's poor and your people in the inner city, I think you have a better chance at getting votes and also getting other demographics to vote for you instead of just making it exclusively about black people. No, that doesn't make you a coon. That doesn't make you any of that shit. That makes you smart. Because guess what? At 13% of the population, you're not gonna ever win anything with getting an exclusive black vote. Jasmine didn't get a high portion of the Latino vote. She not gonna get a lot of the white vote. That's just what it is. And also the portrayal, the sister girl shit. Y'all don't like when they get brought up. That hurt her. How do we view black people? What is the image of how we see black people, especially black women? Loud, cantankerous, difficult. Look at what she be doing online. Y'all don't see that as a problem, but obviously the demographic does. So guess what they're gonna do? They're not gonna vote for that shit. Not to mention, what the fuck was she running on besides these talking points? I want houses to be cheaper, and the border control. Man, those are talking points. You're not coming out with a, hey, this is what I want to do for everyone. You're not coming out with that. And guess what? She lost. So this cause I'm black shit, we've gotta get off of that. It's not because I'm a black man who understands, yes, we've been through things in this country, but I also understand things have changed geopolitically around the world, and that shit don't work no more.
I know you're not gonna sit up here and lie in my face like we not in this situation because of white folks and POCs. I know you didn't just say that. You guys are 1000% the fucking reason why Trump is president right now. You do realize we have data to show you your voting records, right? And you're presented in the same situation once again. And you guys allowed propaganda to harm Jasmine Crockett's campaign. You guys allowed racism to infiltrate the campaign. You guys allowed these bigoted, fucked up things to be hurled in Jasmine's way, even though Tyler Rico said he wanted to run a morally high campaign or some bullshit like that. And when we point out these inconsistencies to you, you weaponize that against black people to make it seem like we're being sensitive or that we're wrong for feeling the way that we feel about not being represented. Tyler Rico only acknowledged black voters when Jasmine Crockett conceded. So that way he can take on Jasmine Crockett's voters. That's what he did. That's what happened in this election. Black women who were involved in the Tyler Rico campaign, who were Tyler Rico supporters, were telling you about Tyler Rico saying anti-black shit. And then you guys told them that they made it about identity and about identity politics, and we need somebody to combat against Trump. And before you ever fix your collagen lip, sallow skin, Gatling gun, big nose having ass over here to talk about what I do with black women and how I want to show up for black women, don't use our lingo to do it. Have a nice...
This whole Jasmine Crockett situation, let's talk about it. So it's kind of something that I have been talking about here in terms of San Francisco politics, where like black women just never can win, right? And so in San Francisco, our former mayor was a black woman, London Breed, and while she was not popular by any means, she did her job effectively, and she was voted out. And since that time, all that has happened is just negative towards her. Now, I get it. Like, I'm never going to defend a politician by any means, but we've had a much more right-leaning Democrat who is now currently in office and has been cutting just everything and anything that he possibly can when it comes to, like, black and brown communities, social services, the whole nine. And what it comes down to is he is politically safe. Like, a white man in office is politically safe as opposed to a black woman in office, as opposed to a woman of color in office. We have the same situation that's going on with our congressional seat that's up. Nancy Pelosi is going to be retiring, and so in that race we have three candidates: Scott Wiener, Shoykat Chakrabarti, and Connie Chan. And in that we have Scott and Shoykat, who could be just so, like, I don't even know how they're part of like working class families or any of this type of stuff. The only working class candidate there is by far Connie Chan, but she's a woman. Women are questioned more. They are held to a higher standard. I mean, in this congressional race, Shoykat probably has the least amount of experience compared to Scott and Connie, and yet he seems to be the one that is like the most popular, mostly probably because he can buy his votes. But women, like the experience, the qualifications, all of those things are under such a microscope. And
to my car so I can make this video clear. What that state election in Texas with Jasmine Crockett teaches me, they don't want us here. There is a certain group of white, not all, Hispanic women that will say that they are for us, will go inside of the voting booth and vote against our best interest. They don't want us here but they need us. And then when they walk out of the voting booth, they will say she's not electable. What does that mean to you and me? I don't want to vote for the black woman. I'm on your side, but I don't want a strong black woman to be in office. They don't want us here, but they need us. And if the 92% want to sit home and allow the Republicans to win in Texas, I don't care. Someone told me this morning, you'll be voting against your self-interest. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like black women have carried these elections for years. We've thought about everybody else but ourselves. They don't want us here, but they need us. We have the power, and do whatever the hell you want to do in Texas. Do what you want to do, because nobody's going to protect and defend. What do you mean she's not electable? That's code word for I don't want to vote for no black woman. We're not crazy. We are finally waking up, and we are speaking out about it. We are calling an ace and a spade a spade. We see you, because the data does not lie. No such thing as a cookie cutter black woman. We have a lot of different skin tones,